ever cash haul in history by any agency. 351 crores of hard cash. And this is after 7 days of non-stop counting. Over 100 officials employed and over 40 counting machines used, many of which, by the way, even broke down because of the sheer volume of notes that the IT department had to go through. SBI officials were also brought in to help with the counting. All of this summing up to the biggest cash haul in history by any agency. The Prime Minister today has waded into this controversy, firing a money heist stunt inspired, of course, by the very, very popular Spanish series.
History's biggest single cash haul. Congress MP breaks black cash record. Viral cash pile disgusts India. Room after room, stack after stack. Cash counting machines break down. Congress anti-corruption stance in pieces. How can Congress distance from this? What happens to all this cash? The big focus on Newstrack.
We've got a very, very interesting discussion lined up for you in just a few moments from now on this mega corruption bust. First, as always, here are the headlines. Vasundhara Raje makes way for Bhajan Lal Sharma as the new Rajasthan Chief Minister. Diya Kumari and Premchand Bhairwa named Deputy CMs, swearing in 2 days from now on 15th December. After Prime Minister's Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat message on Article 370 verdict, Farooq Abdullah triggers big row, says Jammu and Kashmir can go to hell. Centre reintroduces revised criminal reform bills in the Lok Sabha. New bills widen the scope of terror activities, harming economic stability of India, now a terror act. Caste census divides Congress in Karnataka. Mallikarjun Kharge equates DK Shivkumar's stand to that of the BJP's. DKS denies any opposition to caste census. Another setback for Maua Moitra. Trinamool leader gets a notice to vacate her official bungalow after her expulsion as Lok Sabha MP. This is the biggest ever cash haul in the country. 351 crore rupees in hard cash. And we're not even talking about the kind of jewelry that's been recovered and seized by the IT department. The political fight over this seizure from Congress MP Dhiraj Sahu has escalated. Today, the Prime Minister hit out at the Congress by taking a money heist jibe at the party. While political fireworks explode, what happens to all the cash? We'll explain that for you in just a bit. Here's a report first with all the latest.
Quiero proponerte un negocio, un atraco singular. Porque no vamos a robar el dinero de nadie.
¿Qué vamos a robar?
An intense Spanish thriller.
Buenos días.
A band of robbers led by the professor unveiling an audacious plan to secure billions of euros. One of Netflix's most globally acclaimed hits.
No nos vamos a esconder. Vamos a pelear.
Finds a parallel in India's real-life political arena. As tax investigators seize an astonishing 351 crore rupees from properties associated with Congress MP Dhiraj Sahu in Odisha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared the BJP's biting video meme ridiculing Congress as the orchestrator of actual money heists. Ridiculing Congress as the orchestrator of actual money heists. Member Sahu alongside Rahul Gandhi and Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge. And an animated caricature of the Gandhi sign leaping onto a bed of cash stored in a vault. The Prime Minister's blistering critique accompanied the meme, labeling Congress as the mastermind behind legendary heists spanning the last 70 years. Congress attempting to distance itself from the business dealings of its Jharkhand Rajya Sabha member Dhiraj Sahu. Responded with a counter-attack alleging BJP's association with fugitive billionaires facing massive fraud charges.
कानून के मुताबिक इनके खिलाफ क्या क्या किया जाते जो मेहुल चोकसी के खिलाफ नहीं किए गए, जो नीरव मोदी के खिलाफ नहीं किए गए, जो विजय माल्या के खिलाफ नहीं किए गए, कम से कम देश में तो है। वो तो भागे, ये तो 100 करोड़ 200 करोड़ हो सकते इनके जेब में और इनके सारे दफ्तर में, वो तो हजारों करोड़ ले पैसा चोरी करके भागे।
The amount confiscated so far from searches at properties linked to an Odisha-based distillery associated with Sahu's family marks the largest single recovery by the Income Tax Department. The raids commenced on December 6th, suspecting tax evasion. Undisclosed transactions arising from the sale of country liquor by the business group and its distributors, among other issues.
अब विपक्ष पार्टी कांग्रेस और साथियों को
The ruling party enumerated alleged scams and corruption cases filed against the leaders of Congress and its allies.
Right from the days of the independence of India in the beginning, the Congress party has done corruption scams in every possible sphere, from the land, from the sea to the air. They have left nothing. They have looted the country. Their policy is the loot and let other people loot. That is why corrupt people are saying that Congress days were their best days.
Money heist takes center stage in national politics. The visuals of the cash haul once again elevate corruption as a crucial issue leading up to the 2024 general elections. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, while the political fight has broken out, this particular case is also mind-boggling just because of the sheer numbers and the amount of cash that's been recovered. And to take that forward tonight on Newstrack, joining us is Dr. R. Vaidyanathan, one of India's best management minds, author of the much-acclaimed book Black Money and Tax Havens. We also have with us Sandeep Mishra, group editor of Odisha-based news website Odisha Bites, and to talk about really the politics that's broken out over this cash seizure. Salman Soz, national spokesperson of the Congress, and Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, national spokesperson of the BJP. Good evening, gentlemen, and I'd like to begin first with you, Sandeep ji. There's a lot of curiosity right now around the man, Congress MP Dhiraj Sahu. And there's a lot of questions about whether, he's always lived this kind of a flamboyant, lavish lifestyle, that this kind of a seizure of 350 crores can actually make sense right now. For locals there in Odisha, in Jharkhand, did it really come as a big surprise when they found this much of money at his home?
Yeah, good evening. It really has come as a surprise. It's a mind-boggling thing. Nobody ever estimated that this kind of cash could be stashed somewhere in different pockets of the state where people involved in liquor trade could be holding this kind of cash. Dhiraj Sahu is a MP from Jharkhand, which is a neighboring state of Odisha. The Sahu family with which he is linked, they have been in liquor trade for generations. But one doubts whether all this money is from undisclosed income or it is linked to money laundering, or these are part of proceeds of crime. It's still the income tax department is still going through the investigations, and we are yet to unravel all the mysteries associated with this. But yes, it's come as a surprise. It's the talk of the town.
But tell us a bit, Sandeep, about Dhiraj Sahu himself. You know, he's the talk of the town right now. Everyone's calling him Mr. Moneybags. Has he always been Mr. Moneybags? Is that the impression everyone had of him?
Yes, certainly. He has been a money bag. His family has been in the trade for generations. And as you know, the country liquor business, that's a cash-rich business, and it runs basically because in the rural pockets, when people visit these bhattis, the country liquor units where it is sold, usually rural people, they buy, and the whole business runs on cash. But this kind of cash, nobody can really imagine, and that is why the suspicion that maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. Maybe it could be linked to some political funding. It could be maybe it's cash in transit. It's not necessarily all the money might not be.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. The investigation is still taking place right now. But I'd also like to put it out there that Mr. Sahu, in his election affidavit, claimed that his earnings were just about 2 crore. You compare that to 351 crores that's been found so far in his residences. Dr. Vaidyanathan, if I can bring you in on this, it's hard to really process at this point what 351 crores of hard cash even looks like, let alone how many zeros really goes into 350 crores and putting that out on paper. But where really does this money go now, sir? Now that they've recovered this amount, it's taken 7 days to count it. What next? Where does this money go?
I think it is primarily meant for distribution. You find before every poll, the election commission catches some amount, 20 crore, 30 crore, another. The only solution to this is holding of cash beyond, let's say, 5 lakh by any individual should be termed by itself a crime. Let me repeat it. Holding of cash beyond 5 lakh should be made into a crime. This was actually done by some European countries after the Second World War to prevent the holding of money. Today, what happened? Even if you find 1,000 crore, nothing will happen to Sahu, because the onus is to prove that it is beyond his known sources of income.
So if it's accounted cash, if this 350 crores is accounted for, nothing happens to Mr. Sahu.
So holding of cash beyond 5 lakh should be made a crime by itself. I am not telling by. And if somebody wants to hold it more, he can take the permission of RBI and other thing at a point of time. With the DigiCash and other thing, this should be possible today, because even a small vendor or a aloo seller, he uses nowadays Paytm. So it's not required for you to have a huge amount of cash. Even for conducting marriages, several other activities, you can always use GPay and so many things. So that is the only solution which can make the political establishment accountable.
Okay, so you're saying
Probity in public life is lost. Let's be very clear about it. And we have to show examples.
Okay, more accountability clearly needed, and for that maybe norms is something we need to discuss going forward. Let's also open this up and bring in Mr. Salman Soos as well as Dr. Paswan. Mr. Soos, to you first. The Prime Minister today has also spoken about this, saying this here is the real money heist. Mr. Soos, can you unmute yourself, please?
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I heard the Prime Minister, and if the Prime Minister ever wants to really talk about corruption in this country, I have here BJP's A to Z of corruption, which I'm happy to share with the Prime Minister, including, by the way, a fund that he himself heads which is the PM Cares Fund. I'm happy to talk about all sorts of things, but let me first address this particular issue because I think this is the proximate case. Now, this particular, from my understanding, is that this family, and as Sandeep ji has also mentioned, this family has been in this business for generations. So it is a country liquor business, primarily cash. But if there is any malfeasance, if there is any wrongdoing, the income tax department and anybody else, the government has all the levers of power, should investigate, and whatever sticks, we have to take action. We should not be, we cannot defend the indefensible. We cannot defend any wrongdoing, but that wrongdoing has to be proved, and that is for the income tax department to see what this case is. Mind you, we tend to conflate, as in confuse corruption and evasion. Corruption is a different element altogether, and that is why I talked about BJP's A to Z of corruption, and we can get to that. But if this, to me, if there's any kind of case here, maybe, and these are all allegations, I don't want to say anything, these may be about, is this unaccounted money? That is what this gentleman, the Congress MP Sahu ji and his family, they have to respond, and the government has...
No, the reason, Mr. Sos, perhaps many believe that this is unaccounted cash is because you see his declaration in many of his affidavits, considering that he's represented, of course, he's been in the Rajya Sabha for many terms. Every single time you look at his election affidavit, it simply doesn't match up. So, when there are these serious allegations and these kind of pictures, which is essentially mocking every Indian out there, when you have these kind of piles of cash lying about in cupboards, on the floor, in bags, and counting has taken 7 days. For 7 days, why has Congress not acted against Mr. Sahu?
No, please, let me just clarify this for the audience as well as for you. If there is any unaccounted cash, that is for the income tax department to prove, and they can go ahead and do the investigation. This is not a case where the Congress party has to act. This is not a one-person family. This family is a big family. From my understanding, is this family has multiple companies. So this is not about this one person. Of course, because there is this one person who's a Congress MP, the BJP would love to make this into a corruption argument. And I'm happy to have a discussion on corruption in this country. And mind you, I have a stack of documents with me.
We'll get to that. But Mr. Sos, can the Congress...
If you give me time, I'm happy to talk about each and every one of these cases.
No, but let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this one, Mr. Sos. And why is the Congress right now trying to distance themselves from Mr. Sahu? I've had several discussions on this where the Congress says that, look, he's on his own. This is his business. He needs to explain it. The reality is that he's someone who's been nominated by the Congress to the Rajya Sabha. He's lost Lok Sabha elections repeatedly, still brought into the Rajya Sabha repeatedly.
Let me ask you then, the country's home minister, his son, just a few years back, his turnover in his business went up from 50,000 rupees in 2014-15 to 80.5 crores in 2015-16. That is a 16,000-fold increase. There were allegations there, but we have a home minister who is a member of parliament repeatedly. He's the Chanakya of the BJP. Is that not something that we should be talking?
Isn't that something that you question the Home Minister and the BJP over? Similarly, in this case, don't you have to question the Congress?
People can question us anytime. I'm just saying that why should investigative agencies not go after the BJP as well?
Okay, Doctor...
isn't it reasonable to ask that if there are allegations, there are serious allegations, by the way, there was an Ahmedabad district cooperative bank scam around demonetization, 750 crore rupees. Should somebody not be investigating that?
Okay. Let's bring in the BJP on this.
I have many of these examples.
Sure,
I'm happy to talk about anything.
No, let's bring in the BJP also on this. Dr. Paswan, you've heard what the Congress has had to say. What's your response, sir?
No, Akshita, I think it's a very hideous sight. And like you rightly pointed out, for the first time in the history of Indian politics, such amount of wealth. For the first time we are seeing, and I was listening to the Congress spokesperson, the sort of argument which he is offering. Mr. Sahu is a third-time Rajya Sabha member of Parliament from the Congress party, sir. Not for the first time, not for the second time, but for the third time. Mr. Sahu has been a Congress candidate from Chatra Lok Sabha constituency, sir. Mr. Sahu actively participated in Mr. Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra, sir. How can you even think of distancing yourself from Mr. Sahu? Mr. Sahu is what Congress party represents. And Akshita, we must understand, from the ramparts of Red Fort, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said that corruption and nepotism, these are two cancers of Indian public life, and we will fight tooth and nail. We will try and eliminate the corruption and the family politics from Indian public life. My friend was saying that why is not the BJP cases being investigated? And we often hear that ED is lopsided, CBI is lopsided. I have names, 15 names, sitting Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, Bharatiya Janata Party ministers from Lakshmikant Sharma, Kuldeep Sengar, Surendra Patwa, Mohit Kamboj, PVS Sharma, Dushyant Singh. These people are being investigated as well. There are 6,000 cases, Akshita, of Enforcement Directorate, and out of 6,000 cases, only 150 cases are political. You are tarnishing the image of the investigative agencies. You are questioning the constitutional bodies as per your conveniences. If the Supreme Court verdict is against you, you question the Supreme Court. If the Enforcement Directorate is acting on the behest of government, then you are saying that it's questionable. So you have to keep your tracks clean. We have
Dr.
made it our mission.
You've listed out, you've given us what, 10
Indian
plus
politics.
names. You've given us 10 plus names of BJP leaders also who are facing the heat of agencies. The opposition says that if there are 10 BJP, there are at least 100 from the opposition who are at the same time being targeted by these agencies. And then, of course, there's all of those talk of washing machine, that a person who switches side, immediately corruption disappears.
No, Akshita, let's have a very mature discourse. The allegations by the Congress party or some leaders saying something will not weaken our fight against corruption. We must be aware and be very conscious of the fact that Enforcement Directorate as an agency has attached property worth rupees more than 1 lakh crore. Who does it belong to? Mr. Dawood Ibrahim, all the terrorist agencies, if their properties are being confiscated, what is the problem that the Congress party is having? And as far as agency is concerned, Akshita, let me make this very clear. The year was 2013. Supreme Court. Justice R.M. Lodha says that CBI is a caged parrot. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, former President of India, senior leader of Congress party, in his book has written about the misuse of agencies by the Congress party. So the explanation has to be given by the Congress party. The problem is, Akshita, that the Congress party in its entire infrastructure has normalized the act of corruption. That corruption is normal, commission is normal. And now we have gone full war against it, and we will make sure that accountability is fixed at all cost.
With this particular incident, Mr. Soos, on the issue of corruption, have you handed it over on a platter essentially to the BJP ahead of 2024 to take on the Congress repeatedly with those images?
No, Akshita ji, the Congress cannot compete with the BJP when it comes to corruption. I'm really grateful to our friend from the BJP who is finally this. I meet somebody from the BJP who admits that there are so many of their leaders who face the taint of corruption and are basically being investigated. But by the way, just as a matter of a record of the 100 or so cases that we keep talking about, 90% plus cases are of the opposition, where the opposition is targeted. Everybody knows about it. I don't want to get into the business of cage parrots and all that stuff. We don't even know who has a cage now, where the parrots are. So I'm not getting into that. But as far as corruption is concerned, it is a serious issue and we should take it seriously. And in that context, perhaps our friends in the BJP, perhaps the Prime Minister, maybe he can tweet a meme about this. Maybe he can tell us why the Comptroller and Auditor General raised concern about the Dwarka Expressway. As an example, just as an example, there's so much to talk about, where they say the cost of this expressway went up by 14 times the sanctioned amount. 14 times. By a factor of 14. Maybe the Prime Minister should tweet out a meme about that. Maybe the Prime Minister should tweet a meme about Himanta Biswa Sarma. He's the Chief Minister of Assam. Was he not targeted by the BJP relentlessly?
Mr. Soos, there are these allegations of corruption which the Congress has raised before, which you are raising right now. But the problem is that the glare is now on the Congress. Mr. Soos, the glare of corruption is on the Congress with this incident. And there's no way that the party can run away from that.
Akshita ji, this particular case that you're talking about, this is for the income tax department to come out and tell the country what the deal is, and they can go and investigate as much as they want. This is where you could say that there's a case potentially, there's an allegation of unaccounted cash. I'm giving you examples of corruption. Mr. Ajit Pawar, who's the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, he was targeted relentlessly by the BJP.
But is your contention then that this is not serious? Is your contention then that 350 crores is, whatever, let's talk about this?
Ji, I would request India Today and others to have discussions on a sitting Deputy Chief Minister where 9 open inquiries were closed after he became
Mr. Soos, we've done this. We've done this on India Today. We've covered this case. We can't do it today. Today we're talking about this, sir.
This is corruption.
You can search back. No, one second, Mr. Soos, you can search back. You can find endless debates on that story or any other that you believe should have been covered. We have 100% done it, sir. Because if it's made headlines, if it's corruption allegations, and if they're serious, we've covered it. We're talking about this particular incident. So let's keep our focus on this.
If you can tell me that this is a case of corruption, fine, investigate and punish the guilty. But I'm just giving you the context. And in fact, Sandeep ji gave us really good context about this particular family, how long they've been in business, that this is a country liquor business. There's a lot of cash involved. And
sir, his declared assets stand at 34 crores. There are also questions about whether, Mr. Soos, there are also questions about whether this was money being transported for elections. His declared assets stand at 34 crores, Mr. Sahu. Where's 34 crores? Where's 350 crores?
Let me remind you that just a couple years back, there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Piyush Jain. There were 200 plus crores seized in Uttar Pradesh. We understand that Mr. Jain was friendly with the BJP. We don't know. We really don't know where that case is right now. Maybe there are some cases being filed and all that, but I don't know how much follow-up there is. I'm just saying, if there is any malfeasance, if there is corruption or tax evasion or anything else, please, by all means, prosecute, bring the guilty, punish the guilty. I'm not saying we should not. The Congress party is saying that we should not tolerate corruption. And in fact, the corruption in this country right now is being led by the BJP from the very top of this the ruling.
Dr. Paswan, the Congress is saying, look, we're open to an investigation. At this point, nothing is proved. So how can you expect us to take action against Sahu?
No, Akshita, I was patiently listening to my friend from the Congress party, and the way he was normalizing the act of corruption, the way he was accepting the illegality and the immorality of corruption. Income tax will definitely do what it is bound to be. But you have to understand that in 2018, in an open, publicly available affidavit, which you also mentioned, Akshita, that this gentleman mentions a total asset of 34 crore. And in his premises, the company of which he's a promoter, in that premises you are finding a cash of more than 351 crore. More than 10 times of your declared total asset, the cash is found in your premises, and you are not going to fix accountability. And over to that, you'll have 2.36 crore debt on this gentleman as well. And this gentleman has the audacity, has the illegality, has the immorality to keep 351 crore cash in his premises, and the Congress party is not willing to take responsibility. The Congress party is not willing to take any action. Point number 1. Point number 2, Lal Diary case. The red diary case, the notorious red diary case of Rajasthan. I want to remind the viewers, and I want to remind my friend from the Congress party as well, that it was a Congress minister, a sitting Congress minister, who has come out with a red diary and has mentioned all the details. So you have to understand, as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, we very well remember how Lal Krishna Advani ji, the only mention of his name in the Hawala diary case, and he offered to resign. Only last year, Akshita, we saw Ishwarappa, the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, he was forced to resign after his name appeared on corruption. And as far as any question with respect to Himanta Biswa Sharma or with respect to Ajit Pawar, please, I request my friend to go and check the status on the Enforcement Directorate website.
Okay,
They're still being questioned. The problem is that the Congress party has taken the Congress. No, just can I finish my point,
Sure.
Akshita? The problem is that the Congress party has made corruption the part of Indian political personality. And that is the reason. Right from the 1956 Jeep scam to Beaufort scam to 2G scam to coal scam, A to Z scam of the Congress party, right from the inception of the Congress party we have seen. And only recently in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan, we saw that is the biggest court in democracy. It is the people of India, and the people of India can see through it. More than 25 paper leaks in Rajasthan, sir. The red diary mentions all the corruption of sitting ministers and sitting MLAs, sir. Where are you going to hide? I am only asking the Congress party to have some magnanimity. It is about the question of probity and integrity in public life. It is the question of assertion of public faith in Indian political system, and which the Honorable Prime Minister has said from the ramparts of Red Fort that in the next 25 years, we are going to leave no stone unturned in our fight for elimination against corruption. And we have taken a resolve, and we will make sure that corruption is removed from every nook and corner of Indian politics and Indian public life, Akshita.
Okay, I don't want to go into your corruption versus my corruption, but Mr. Soos, focusing again on this particular issue, I'm sure you recognize by now that it's bad optics. The fact that you have pictures of Dhiraj Sahu with Rahul Gandhi, and that's juxtaposed with all of those pictures of these massive piles of cash, you realize also that going into 2024, it doesn't look good when these kind of pictures come out. So why is the Congress hesitating in taking action against a Sahu and saying, look, we'll reinstate him if the allegations aren't true?
Look, when Rahul ji took out the Bharat Jodo Yatra, millions of Indians met him, including members of the Congress party, including Sahu ji, the MP that we are talking about. Just like, the Prime Minister was photographed with, I don't remember whether it was Mehul Bhai Choksi or whether it was Nirav Modi ji.
And those are pictures that the Congress put out also for political brownie points. So similarly, you're saying this out because, Mr. Soos, it could dent the Congress.
Akshita ji, I would appreciate it if you would not interrupt me, because you're giving our friend from the BJP also a little bit of time to talk. You asked me a question, let me respond. Of course, you're showing these images and I can see them too. Yes, but at the same time, I'm saying that, just because you're in a photo with somebody doesn't mean that you have indulged in corruption. If that is the case, then maybe if Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi have run away from this country with thousands of crores of rupees, then maybe we should hold the Prime Minister responsible because they were in a photo.
Mr. Soos.
Let me finish. I'm really happy that we have this BJP spokesperson here. I'm really happy with him because he keeps talking about BJP corruption and how people resign. In fact, I'm glad he talked about Advani ji. Those were the good old days of the BJP. Now, when there is corruption in the BJP, what do? They make them chief ministers like they did with Himanta ji. They make them deputy chief ministers like Ajit Pawar ji.
No, we're going around in circles. Mr. Soos, the reason I'm intervening here, is because the question I asked you wasn't about Rahul Gandhi's association with Mr. Sahu. The question was about the optics and how this could, prove to be bad publicity essentially for the Congress going into 2024 on the issue of corruption, sir. Knowing that Mr. Sahu is not someone who's been democratically elected as a member of parliament but has been brought in via Rajya Sabha, why not, take action against him? If the allegations are proven to be false, bring him back. You're in an advantage.
Look, as far as this gentleman is concerned, he's going to have to deal with the law. The law is dealing with him. Let them deal with him.
But the Congress will deal with the political consequences.
I will not allow the BJP to make a fool of the people of this country because they're focused on distracting attention from their own misdeeds, their own corruption. If they're really that good, if the Prime Minister is really that honest, why doesn't he tell us? Give us the accounts of the PM Cares Fund. Is he really honest? Why doesn't he tell us Why did he make Ajit Pawar Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, one of the biggest states in the country?
Okay.
Is that how
So
you
these
take
are
on-
1 second, Mr. Sos. Okay,
these are allegations?
you've again
Are
brought up
these
these
allegations?
allegations. You again brought up these allegations.
Are
Fine.
you?
Now you 1 second,
So
Mr.
these are
Sos. You want the
allegations.
Prime Minister to speak on these. Now, similarly, there'll be a question on why the Gandhis, why they haven't spoken on the allegations
has-
right now against Mr. Sahu, against this cash haul.
Well, why
You
should
want
they
the
speak?
leadership to speak,
When-
right?
when the Prime Minister acts against the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and why doesn't he tell this?
Mr. Sos.
Why? I'm giving no, Akshita ji. I'm asking you a very simple question. It's a reasonable question. Why does the Prime Minister not?
So
ask-
on the day
ask
that
Ajit
we
Pawar to
discuss,
resign,
on the day
ask
that we
Himanta
debate
Biswa to
Ajit
resign,
Pawar once
then
again,
when-
since
when-
we've done it
when-
before,
when-
I will make sure that we call you on that panel as well. But let's focus on this incident, sir.
I'm asking
Let's focus
you.
on this.
You're a reporter. No, you're a reporter.
Miss-
I'm asking you a simple question. You're a citizen of India. I'm asking you a question. Why don't you ask the Prime Minister to tell Ajit Pawar and Himanta Biswa Sarma, you resign for now. When your allegations are proven to be not true, then we'll reinstate.
And that's a question, Mr. Sos, we will bring up on another
So why
debate
don't
on
we-
another
no,
day.
because
Let's talk about this incident.
that has
Let's
happened
talk about this incident. You want the
chronologically, that
Prime
has
Minister to
happened.
speak. Why is it that the Gandhis then feel the need to speak on this?
Why should they speak on this? Have they done anything
Sir,
wrong?
350 crores. Let me remind you again, 350 crores of a man who's linked to the Congress.
Thousands of crores the allegations against the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, thousands of crores. And who has leveled those allegations is BJP. And what did they do? They made him a Deputy Chief Minister.
Mr. Sos,
Bataiye,
we're going back in
ye kya
circles.
baat hui?
Dr. Paswan, respond.
No, I think, Akshita, this exactly exposes and reflects the feudal mindset of the Congress party. They are not going to take accountability. They think they are above the law. I think the Congress party should come out with an affidavit saying that Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Madam Sonia Gandhi, they are above the Constitution of India. Sir, are you not aware of the National Herald scam? Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who has stakes in the Young India, has taken the ownership of National Herald. And in tune of that, he has become an owner of 1,000 crore property. Who is going to answer for that? And when the questioning happens, you guys come out. Thousands of crores of corruption has happened by the National Herald newspaper in the leadership, in the stewardship of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Madam Sonia Gandhi. And you are fixing the blame on Motilal Vora. So you have to answer for that. Number two, when you say Mehul Choksi, Nirav Modi, I am absolutely tired with this pointless rhetoric. There is no logic, there is no fact. And on this show, let us make it very clear. Under whose regime did they run away, sir? It was your regime, Mr. Saws. It was under Congress's regime. They siphoned off the money from the Indian public sector banks. And in the course of last 9 years, I will send you the link of SBI report. More than 10 lakh crore has been recovered of all those money that went outside under your leadership, under your government. Don't make me open air. It was 1984 when the Bhopal gas leak case happened. You are an expert in sending people outside. You are an expert in not fixing accountability. So we don't need any lessons from you. But Akshita, we must understand, we need to develop a consensus on establishing probity in Indian public life. We need to establish a consensus in integrity in Indian public life. Like the Bharatiya Janata Party, there are obviously bad apples, there are obviously rotten apples, and the investigation is happening on sitting Bharatiya Janata Party ministers as well. A sitting Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka was forced to resign. Lal Krishna Advani, our very senior leader, he just on the mention of his name in the Hawala diary case, he offered to resign. He resigned from the Lok Sabha. And now the Congress party, which is structurally, institutionally, historically a corrupt political organization, is speaking on probity, is speaking on misuse of agencies. I think it's a bit rich coming from the Congress party spokesperson. So I want to make it very clear. Like I said, in the next 25 years, no matter what you do, sir, no matter what line you take, sir, we will ensure that every single paise of the Indian taxpayer, a man who declares a total asset of 34 crore, we will question the people of India will question that out of total 34 crore, where did this 351 crore come from? The people of India today are conscious. You can no longer operate with this feudal mindset, sir. You need to fix accountability. You need to take action right here and right now. You can no longer run away from that. National Herald में कुछ होता है, you blame Motilal Vora. यहाँ पे कुछ होता है, you blame someone else. And Mr. Mehul Choksi, as far as the photographs are concerned, there are photographs on internet where Mr. Mehul Choksi is seen with Mr. Rajiv Shukla.
Okay.
You can see this photograph. So it's not about the question of photograph.
Okay,
but
I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Mr. Soos, one final question to you. One final question to you. The BJP says that anyone who is corrupt will pay the price. My question to you, sir, is simple. Why can't the Congress today send out a large resounding message that would put BJP on the back foot by taking action against Mr. Sahu, saying we have zero tolerance for corruption? And please, sir, one answer where you don't refer to Ajit Pawar, where you don't refer to anyone else, just focusing on Dhiraj Sahu.
I've already told you about Dhiraj Sahu. The investigative agencies are investigating him, and they should see what this is. You can.
But why not send out that message that we have zero tolerance? Take action against him, bring him back if the allegations are false.
Honestly, if it were up to me, as soon as the Prime Minister dismisses the Chief Minister of Assam and the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, I'll be the first one to call.
We're back to square one, Mr. Soos.
By the way, the people of this country should know that we have.
Akshita,
Oh, no, please don't
run with that.
Please don't interrupt me.
Don't let him run with that. Akshita,
I did not
don't let him run with that.
No.
Sir.
Now let me.
No. You cannot run away with that. Sausji, I challenge you.
Why will you interrupt me?
I challenge you. If you have any evidence, I challenge you on this show. I challenge you on this show. If you have any evidence, please show it.
Okay,
if you have any evidence, please show it right now. You have any evidence? Please show
One
it.
second, we're going around in circles. We're going around in circles, and we've now moved beyond this. Unfortunately, while the topic is on corruption, Mr. Soos,
young man, you should learn manners. You should, when you come on national television.
Okay, let's.
The other person is being respectful.
No, but you cannot tell a lie.
You have to listen to me.
You cannot tell a lie.
Then why do you interrupt? Why do you interrupt?
Accusation,
Let me make. Why are you interrupting me?
Accusation, you have to back it up.
Are you frustrated because BJP scams are being?
Please back it up.
Are you frustrated because I am holding out something with the BJP?
351 crore.
Is it
public money? Public का पैसा लेकर क्या भागोगे? और जनता सवाल पूछेगी और कार्रवाई भी होगी.
फ्रस्ट्रेट होते हैं, दूसरे को बात नहीं करने देते हैं. आपको मैंने पूरी
जनता सवाल पूछेगी और कार्रवाई भी होगी. ये नया बात है, सौज जी लिख लीजिए. ये भारत राहुल गांधी जी को बोल दीजिए, यहाँ कार्रवाई भी होगी.
फ्रस्ट्रेशन नहीं
will be taken no matter what happens, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, action will be taken, sir. Please take it.
Okay, Dr. Paswan, let Mr. Soos finish. I'll come back. Mr. Soos.
Well, yes. I mean, he should listen. I listen to him. He should listen. ये तो थोड़ा सा है ना, वो होता है इज्जत से सुनना चाहिए. मैंने जैसे इनकी बात सुनी, ये नौजवान है, इनको थोड़ा सुनना चाहिए. He should have patience.
अरे आप झूठ बोलेंगे तो नहीं सुनेंगे, सर.
क्यों इस पे क्या? अडानी 20,000 crore power scam. 20,000 crores. क्यों नहीं बात करते हैं
अडानी? अशोक गहलोत क्यों बुलाते हैं अडानी को? अरे अशोक गहलोत क्यों बुलाते हैं अडानी को फिर? अरे अडानी से प्रॉब्लम है तो अशोक गहलोत ने क्यों इन्वेस्ट करा है? अरे हद करते हैं भाई सौज जी. अशोक गहलोत जी ने क्यों बुलाया अडानी जी को? ममता दीदी क्यों बुलाते हैं
बीजेपी के
कार्रवाई? झूठ कुछ भी बोल के निकल जाना है.
की बात करते हैं आप लोगों में बड़ी
जाना. अशोक गहलोत जी ने क्यों बुलाया था?
अरे वो
अशोक गहलोत जी ने क्यों बुलाया था? राजीव गांधी जी के समय अडानी काम कर रहे हैं
भाई. मेरे
कुछ भी
बात तो नहीं है. आप में गुस्सा आ जाता है जब आप अडानी की बात सुनते हैं बीजेपी वाले. भाई आप सुनिए बात, फिर अपना जवाब दीजिए.
अरे भाई अशोक गहलोत क्यों बुलाए थे? अशोक गहलोत को
नहीं आया था. No. You can raise. Don't be so. Listen. Don't do this. I listen to you.
नहीं कराते.
I you. Why do you?
गहलोत जी ने क्यों बुलाया था?
Why do you interrupt? Why do you? आप क्यों इंटरप्ट कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि आपकी पोल खोल रहा हूँ, बीजेपी की पोल खोल रही है नेशनल टेलीविजन पे. Is that why?
You are making pointless arguments, sir. You are making pointless arguments, sir.
I'm exposing you. I'm exposing your party.
Okay.
And you cannot tolerate it, and you will not think.
No. 351 crore, sir.
Look, let me ask you this. Let's have a civil conversation. Did I interrupt you even one time? Did I interrupt you? No. But when I started speaking about corruption
I will not allow you to
I will
not allow you to spread fake news, sir.
You to allow me or not to allow me? Who are you? आप होते कौन हैं? भाई आप टीवी पे आए हैं.
allow you to spread fake news, sir.
You have manners.
आप कौन होते हैं फेक न्यूज फैलाने वाले? फेक न्यूज फैलाने का अधिकार आपको किसने दिया है? कांग्रेस पार्टी ने दिया है.
You cannot. By the way,
कुछ भी बोल देते हैं आप लोग. अरे कुछ भी बोल देते हैं.
Okay, Dr. Paswar, Mr. Soos, Dr. Paswar, one second. Let's take a breather. Let's take a breather for a second. And let's get back to the issue at hand here. I know it got off track, went into all sorts of other cases. Again, Mr. Soos, I will make an appeal that we focus on this particular case. And again, my question to you, one final time, is will the Congress act against Mr. Sahu? Or are you going to wait it out now?
Akshita ji, the Congress party will do whatever it has to do, and the government should do whatever it has to do. But one thing I will not tolerate is BJP spokespersons acting as if they own the country. They do not own the country. He's a guest. I'm a guest on your show. You're the anchor. I am listening very respectfully to this young man, and then he decides.
Stop lecturing.
Because he will.
Okay, sir. Okay. Dr. Paswar, I'll give you a chance to respond. Just hold on. Mr. Soos, just answer my question, please. I'm running out of time. Just answer my question. Answer my question, sir. My question on Dhiraj Sahu and only on Dhiraj Sahu. Only on Dhiraj Sahu. If the Congress has zero tolerance to corruption. Let's not do two wrongs make a right, Mr. Soos. Let's not do this versus this. Let's focus on this very case. 7 days of counting, 351 crores, biggest cash haul ever. Mr. Soos, just listen to me, please. Biggest cash haul ever. If the Congress wants to send out a message of zero tolerance to corruption, shouldn't you act against him and not wait for the investigation?
The biggest cash haul in the country was by the BJP in 5,271 crore rupees through electoral bonds that nobody knows about. More than the combined amount of the entire opposition.
Mr. Soos, I wish you would answer my question, sir.
That is corrupt. If you're interested in corruption, talk about corruption.
I wish you would answer my question, sir.
Well, Dhiraj Sahu, I've already told you. He's under investigation. Let the income tax department come out with
So there is no question of acting against him before that, yes?
Why should we what is this question about what are we going to act on? There's an allegation. The government has to go
on the allegation, sir. The very serious allegation of corruption.
The allegation was against the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and they made him a Deputy Chief Minister. They rewarded him with the Deputy Chief Ministership and the Assam Chief Minister.
Okay.
What was the Prime Minister? Mr. Prime Minister, why don't you ask these people to resign, reinstate them when allegations are proven wrong?
Okay. We're leaving it at that. I've run out of time. Mr. Salman Soos, Dr. Paswan, thank you very much for joining us. Also, thanks to Dr. Vaidyanathan as well as Sandeep Mishra for joining us here on Newstrack. Now, this investigation continues, but the Congress is making it clear that they're going to wait it out. What does this really mean in the 2024 battle, considering that corruption is going to be one of the biggest planks on which you're going to be seeing the political battle being fought out? We're going to continue, of course, tracking all the latest on that story. On the other side of a short break here on Newstrack, we'll be getting you details of how the caste census has divided the Congress in Karnataka. Kharge questioning DK Shivkumar and saying he's siding with the BJP. We'll get you more on that in just a minute.
Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards from Best English News Channel India Today TV to Best Hindi News Channel Aaj Tak, and the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti Exemplary Leadership.
ये गर्व का मौका है कि मेरे नारी शक्ति के समर्थन और संकल्प को इस मंच ने और ताकत दी है। लंबे वक्त से बहुत से लोग ये बताते रहे कि एक आदमी की सफलता के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है। अब वक्त बदला है। हर सफलता खुद हासिल करने के लिए हम सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव आत्मनिर्भर नारी शक्ति ही बनेगी। एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इस सम्मान के साथ मुझे मिली है। मैं इसे अपनी पूरी कमिटमेंट से निभाऊंगी।
Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
हमारे डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर ही कास्ट सेंसस को अपोज कर रहे हैं, वो भी कर रहे हैं और इन्हों भी कर रहे हैं।
A remark by Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge in Parliament has ended up exposing the divide within his party over the Karnataka Caste Survey report. Kharge made the comment on Monday when poked by BJP leader Sushil Kumar Modi over when the pending report will be made public. Karnataka Deputy CM D.K. Shivakumar had recently signed a letter to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah by a Vokalika organization demanding a fresh caste survey. Reacting to Kharge's statement, Shivakumar denied opposing caste census. The Congress, embarrassed by the episode, rushed to control damage. The BJP is citing the confusion in the Congress to claim the ruling party is not serious about the caste census exercise. Caste census and reservation are a political hot potato in Karnataka. Dominant caste groups like Lingayats and Vokaligas are worried that a caste census could hurt their jobs and education prospects. Bureau Report, India Today.